Today on the Mike O'Mara Show.
As a younger man, I was on dusting and furniture duty. So we'd have,
Right.
oh God, you think you had a bad childhood? Every day I had to dust the entire house, and I had to pledge all the furniture.
Every day?
Every day.
Oh, no wonder you're broken.
I think there's probably a piece of the audience that's like, this is life. And
This
then,
is life,
And then
yes.
there's
And
other people in the audience like, doesn't have to be, though.
It doesn't, no. It probably
No.
could be,
Yes.
you could probably train them to eat a frozen rodent. I think it's more efficient to do it this way.
This is what
But-
why you wanted to get a snake. Yes, because you're broken.
All right. I'll own it.
I asked to visit. There's a one visitor policy. Not
One child policy
that's-
like China. Like we're
it's
in
very
China.
strict with the COVID protocol.
All that and more. The Mike O'Mara Show starts now. Mike O'Mara, radio entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Robb Spewak. Now, here's Mike.
Chico, California, Mobile, Alabama, Yarmouth, Maine, Rosemary Beach, Florida, Rochester, New York. See how I pronounced that correctly? See, when you have a lot of affiliates around the country, at a certain point in your career, before they kick you to the curb, you actually remember how to pronounce town names. Kumasi, Ghana. I hope I've got that right. The Mike O'Mara Show is on the air right now. We're very, very glad to be with you. Remarkably insensitive people that support what we do. Yeah, it's good
Big
to be
hearts.
with you. It's me and Oscar again. Rob is. I have a Rob update.
Oh,
Might
you
as
do?
well start with that. Yeah,
I need some sort of actuality, or the guy
this
who makes
is-
those is sick.
This is good news. Yesterday afternoon, I got a call from Robb Spewak, who is home and recuperating at home right now. As far as his health update, I'm going to kind of let him go through what he's got for you when he comes back. That's good that I'm saying when he comes back, because I think he's doing okay. I
disagree.
Here's the thing. I don't want to. You know that you and I have been talking about this for a week now.
We're going to respect their privacy. It's his story to tell.
It's his story to tell. But the good news is that I have to be honest, and I'm tired of pulling punches. I think if he was really going to die, they wouldn't have let him out of the hospital.
Nah.
Or maybe they would have let him out of the hospital.
I think that there's this misnomer that doctors can see the future.
Right.
You just don't know.
First thing I said to him yesterday, this is a true story.
Yeah.
I said, first things first, are you going to die? And he says, I don't think so. So that's the answer I got from that.
It's the same man who said he may or may not have a healthy marriage.
I don't know. You don't know with the
You don't
Spewaks. You don't. Would that be safe to say? Look, let's just cut through the crap.
Yeah.
We will still respect the privacy here as far as health and health updates. But would that not be, Oscar, and I say this to you completely sincerely, would it be safe to say that you and I really never know what's going on when it comes to him?
Yes, but if I may, and I'm going to pick a team right now.
All right.
America, I'm here to make the announcement that I am Team Carrie Spewak.
I think Carrie has been, when Rob was feeling very poorly and was not having, Rob hasn't been the communicator during this. Carrie has.
No, we've talked to Carrie, and Carrie has texted and has given as much information as possible.
Are we technically, even while he's out sick, doing what we like to do most, bust his balls? Yes, we are. Yeah, we really are doing that. That is true.
Is it?
We're actually doing it without him here.
Well, we're praising his wife.
We're praising his wife.
Yes.
She's been the font of information, giving us updates. And then yesterday, I talked to Rob, who did sound very, very tired. and he told me that he was exhausted after everything he's gone through. He sounded to me during the conversation like he is looking forward to explaining or detailing what happened to him, and he gave me a tease that I think the audience will enjoy significantly about a procedure that was done while he was in the hospital. But I'm here to say this is good news. It put me in a good mood. I think it should put the listeners in a good mood. And by the way,
I'm not in a great mood.
I know you're not.
No.
You're frustrated. You're frustrated because you like to be in control more than I like to be in control.
Yes. Yeah, but I'm not in
every
the
detail.
American Psycho way. I'm
no,
not asking
you just like
don't
like
just
to
look at it. I'm more how to help people. How can I help people?
You like to have everything laid out.
Yes,
I get it. I understand how that works. I am here to tell you that when I heard him talk about a particular procedure, it put me in a good frame of mind because I think, okay, nothing I want better that you don't even know what this is. I didn't
but
even
you
tell
don't fall for that. That's how he. That's how he like.
You want him to get healthy, and you want everything to be fixed, and you are worried about him.
Why do you think
perhaps more than I am?
He hasn't called me. I haven't called him because I talked to Carrie. Said, Carrie, don't worry about
relationship.
Work.
You have a more open relationship with Carrie than I do. I talked to Carrie once. You've talked to her like what, 5 times, 6 times?
On a daily basis. Daily basis.
Okay, daily basis.
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe today at some point. And look, would it be safe to say that the information flowing from Team Spewak has slowed a bit now that he's home from the hospital?
In fairness, we're and for those of you at home being like, oh, here they go, they're piling on. No, this is a great opportunity to highlight how hard it is to advocate for yourself.
It is, and we will, when he gets back here, we want to hear the story and what's going on. And by the way, from home, whatever he wants. There you go, controlling again. No, get your ass in here. If you can live, you can drive in the car. No, all right, fine.
That's not the way America is anymore, Mike.
I'm whatever you run that side. I don't care.
We got to hug them and love them.
I do love them. I think we got. How many messages have we gotten back? And even yesterday on the phone, he told me how moved and touched he is by the concern. What are you? I said at the end of the conversation, I said to Rob, I will call you and update you on the situation, which I did yesterday.
You're the captain. Like, you took care of everything. I get that.
No, what are you talking about?
No, you're the point of contact for him. Like, you are like the long-term friend over 20 years. Like, that's who he should be talking to. 30 years. 30 for 30. Maybe not. Who knows? So
isn't it April? Hang in there, Rob.
You have to make it to 30 for 30 at least.
Right.
Okay, so just a funny anecdote. This weekend, I text Pony. I said, can I have Rob's home address? I've never been to his house. I've never sent anything to his house. We would like to send flowers to his home.
You didn't even tell me that. That's wonderful.
Yes. Matt Bloom writes me back, don't have his address. And I write back to him, okay, well, I can get it from work, and payroll when we get to work on Monday, but I'd like to set this up, during the weekend. And so it arrives when hopefully he'll be home or for his family.
I get it.
And then I said, you don't have his address. Have you ever been to his house? He said, yes, multiple times. I said, how do you get to his house? He goes, I just drive.
I don't know. I just end up there. It's amazing.
This is what
You're
we're
another
dealing with.
story. You're another story, pal.
Why?
Your lack of engagement.
I mean, I
all.
don't memorize the numbers.
Have you
No, but just in life in general.
Have you texted hang in there to Rob at all? Anything like that since this past, I guess, Monday? It's Wednesday.
You know what? I didn't want to bother him. And I know that he was incommunicado for a little while, so I figured
and
I
you
would
don't really
keep
care.
the stress. But you think I don't care? I care.
Well, no, I don't think you care enough to really be proactive about it.
Well, I mean, what am I going to do? Go
there you
treat
go.
him
No,
at
you
the
don't need to go any
hospital?
further than that. What am I going to do? You can leave it right at that.
I asked to visit. There's a one visitor policy, not
one child policy
that's-
like China. Like we're
it's
in
very
China.
it's very strict with the COVID protocol. Very
God.
strict.
So let me get back to this.
Yes.
All right. So a good conversation. He was tired, but it was great to hear his voice. He was funny. And I think there's some recovery time for him, and we're going to honor that. And I look forward to seeing him on these screens once again. I will say this: the incredible TMOS sensitive audience.
Oh, I saw the
that.
post.
Yeah. I don't mind the jokes. All right.
I mean, that's all we live by. I love them.
But when the jokes are just not jokes, they're just speculation on the guessy loos,
Yes.
right? That want to see that they've got everything. They just can't wait. They're not patient, and they have to vent, and they have to open their mouths. I neglected to jump on any of the threads, but I sure wanted to. Because you know what I wanted to say? I wanted to say F off.
Yeah.
I wanted to say F off, and let's just let this thing develop as it develops. The good news is our boy Rob is out of the hospital.
Yes, for now.
I'm
just saying.
Stop that. No, I think that here's the frustration with Oscar. Oscar wants things buttoned up and wants his information when he can get it for the sake of the Spewaks ASAP.
Not the show. I think we're doing great.
It's not the show.
I mean, I miss
like
him, but
horribly cruel thing you've said. No, I miss him terribly, and I think that what you want is you want him to advocate for himself, and you want Carrie to advocate for him.
Well, Carrie's tired.
Like
she's exhausted. The fact that she had to go through this is terrible.
So we will be on the case with that. And as far as the details, we are not revealing details simply to respect Rob's right to privacy. Rob has gone through some medical issues that he has to deal with, and he is tired, and he's gone through some stuff at the hospital, and he will, to the best of my knowledge, he will probably join us from home before he comes back into the studio.
God willing.
And I think I'm very comfortable that now that he's out, he'll be able to rest up a little bit. There's more work to be done, obviously, for him medically and stuff like that.
Any family that's dealt with a medical emergency understands, especially these days, the plight of getting specific answers, tests done, results, everything that needs to come into play. I mean, I was just in the hospital. I couldn't get the CT scan, and I was there with my dad.
Here's at least the problem we have down in South Florida. Down here in West South Florida, it's just there are so many people, so many human beings, and I wrote this for later in the show, but I can say it right now. For all of you that come here to visit, spring breakers now with the curfew, midnight curfew in Miami, with all of you who are now visiting your grandparents down here to enjoy your weekend on the highways, not knowing where, combining lack of patience with old people with not being familiar with the streets and knowing where you're going, please leave. If you've got a 10-day vacation, cut it to 5. Get the frig out of Southwest Florida. I'm done. I'm done with the visitors. I'm ready to start my long, hot days of summer, which it's already balls hot down here. Will be forever. It's just getting a little frustrating. So, but getting back to the whole medical thing, you also have snowbirds that come down here only during a certain period of time, and they overload the medical system down here. So I have a doctor that I will now today, after I get off this show, I will be picking up my prescription for my mood, and I will be finding out where my prescription for the rest of my body is, which I will now, it will be a third time calling this doctor to see what's going on with this. And also, I have my biannual physical where they take blood, and it would be nice to just have some sort of vehicle to find out how my blood work was with my numbers and stuff like that. None of that has happened. You got to advocate. You got to yell at them.
Yes.
You got to tell them, hey, I need that. I need it now. Please hurry up and do that. Be as polite as you can
Until
and
you
as
can't
firm
be
as you
polite.
can. Yeah, until you can't be polite. So with in Robb's case, you and I know only so much. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, we only know so much, and
We only know so much, and it's on them.
Yeah, because
and
they
hopefully they're
may
getting it
not
done.
know at the moment, right? So they have
There's
to,
a
they
lot
have
of
to
talk
get-
of we have to find this type of doctor, this type of doctor, and I will tell you it's not the big casino, so please don't speculate. But the speculation online gets a little frustrating, but I certainly understand it. But sometimes I understand it, but it still pisses me off.
Well, it's also it's easy to, and this is what's crazy, people, is that you see a guy like Robb. Dan O'Brien, can you please be a little more quiet in the studio? I hear your big bellowing voice in the other room, for God's sakes. He's helping us with the video today. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
So for me, you see a guy like Robb, and he's so happy all the time. And we've made so many jokes for the myriad of maladies he may or may not have, that it's an open tapestry for speculation.
He deserves the moniker that Jimmy Cerrito has of "it'll be okay."
Yes.
You and I are much more doom and gloom about everything in life.
Correct.
We are much more, you and I are worrywarts. That's the way it goes. I get that. So, but I will tell people that the Spewaks are
And good
doing
spirits.
fine. They are doing fine, and they are trying to get things done. But they, like a lot of Americans, are trying to get an appointment here, an appointment there.
Against a wall of friction.
It's just the medical system sucks.
Yeah.
Our great medical. You get to keep your doctor. Yeah, the whole thing is frustrating, especially
The whole tray.
The whole tray is frustrating. Oh, by the way, I watched that last night. The Tony Soprano, the young Tony Soprano.
You saw it?
What a bag of suck crap that
what is
was.
it?
What were they doing? What were they thinking?
You're talking about the prequel on HBO.
The Many Saints of
Row, yeah.
Even the title.
Saints
even
Row.
the title sucked ass. It was horrible.
I thought it wasn't as horrible as everyone else thought it was.
It was terrible. It was terrible. It was it lacked such credibility. And, I don't know what the deal is with Ray Liotta being a twin and all this other crap. Come on. Please.
They had to save money in the budget.
Oh, my God.
You're going to
How
play
do you
two
do
people.
That? How do you do that to a show that great? How do you force feed us like we're geese that are getting food stuffed down our throat? That's what it felt like. Like I was being turned into foie gras. I swear to God. Is that Silvio? Is that that? That's by the way, if you're going to watch that prequel to The Sopranos, you're going to spend the whole time going,
You're wondering who's who.
supposed to be?
Yes.
Is that supposed to be Paulie Walnuts? And bad impressions of these guys? Oh, forget it. It was silly. I didn't. There was not a. And then at the end, you're like, oh, it's over.
What just happened?
And is that Vera Farmiga who played
Yes.
Livia Soprano
Yes.
with a nose prosthetic?
Yes.
Boy, oh boy, those people
What'd
are
you
just going to be taking Sharpies and going, get that off the resume right now. Thank you very much.
What about the young Gandolfini?
No. Cast an actor with a resume with some chops. He was a brand new actor, and he looked at. You want to see his look for most of the movie with his hair,
he's like a
with his
teenager,
weird hair.
Yeah.
God Almighty, terrible! Absolutely, don't waste your time. The many sucks of
Saints
Brooklyn
Row.
or whatever it was. Anyway, back to O'Reilly. And by the way, I am delaying the best of the show today. I'm going to give you a tease later in the show. We'll do it after the news. I'm going to tell you about the grossest thing that has ever happened in the O'Mara household.
Ooh.
And I am talking about that is all the marriages, that is every house I've ever lived in. I may have experienced, people get sick and throw up and stuff like that, or the dogs have an accident. That this is in a different stratosphere. I will tell you that I made a mistake with my snake care. With Jake the snake care, that will be coming up, and it is unquestionably the grossest thing I've ever experienced while being screamed at. While being screamed at by my wife, who said, "Why did you do this?
Why did you do
Why did you get a snake?" Like, I got it for my son. Hey, Michael!
Spring break, Michael, by the way, for those of you at home. Spring break.
Michael's in his jammies.
Spring break.
Michael, come here for a second.
Spring break forever.
I'm teasing a story I'm going to
It's
tell.
more like Forrest Gump than
He's going to come in. Say hi to the listeners.
James Franco.
Buddy. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10. And don't say anything about what it is. How gross was what we dealt with yesterday?
He just said crap.
How gross was it?
It wasn't that gross.
Okay, you don't think it was that,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
think it was a 10.
For 8
You didn't really deal with it
That
as
was a
much. Come into the camera so people can see it.
5.
What's that?
5.
5.
He's being brave.
You're a good kid.
He's
You know
being
what? You're a brave
He's being
kid. No, he's a
brave.
kid.
Yeah,
He's a 10.
Yeah.
8-year-old.
Tell
What?
them.
No, I'm going to tell him later. I'm going to tell them later.
now.
No, I'm going to tell. No, you're not doing that to me. Showmanship, boy.
You have to
God.
teach him a broadcast clock, Mike. That's the next
We're
step.
all over the place. We're all over because there's a lot going on there. But it is, oh God, it is so nasty. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? We have time. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I can do it in 10 minutes. Here we go. All right, this is the story.
So-
Rob, get well soon. We'll button up the Rob
Yes.
thing, right?
Rob, we'll talk soon.
Talk soon, and maybe by the end of the week. Well, that would be by tomorrow's show.
Let's not push it. Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Yeah, Monday.
All right. So you didn't break a leg. Anyway, let's do this. Let's get to this. As many of you know, ladies and gentlemen, at Christmas time, I acquired a ball python. A ball python, which is a little snake, a very docile snake,
Mhm.
and I got it for my son.
As a gift.
As a
Christmas
gift. He asked for months and months, he was asking for a snake. And as it got closer, I said to myself, I'm 62. I'm an older father. This is what the older fathers get to do. You get to do the thing that might not be as responsible as other families. And I probably didn't realize that in my heart of hearts, I had always had a fascination with snakes, stemming from, as my sister mentioned to me over the weekend, my mom's horrific fear of snakes. And we grew up in the country, kind of the suburb country, and we bumped into snakes occasionally. I thought it would be fun. And when we got the snake after Christmas, I discovered I love the thing. I truly enjoy it. I enjoy feeding it. I enjoy tending to it. I enjoy watching it. And it's been a great experience. Now, when I bought the snake, the guy that I got it from, who I don't go to anymore because we think that the snake got its mites from that shop. But the guy was giving me the instructions, and I think it went something like this: that you feed them once a week. That's how it goes, and you feed them mouse, and then you can soon after that move up to a small rat. Mm-hmm. So we had been feeding him mice and mice and mice every week. I do it most often.
2 blind mice.
One mouse that I would go, and they've got a pet store down here, big one, good one that has the mice. And we had been discussing the fact that he seems to dispatch and ingest this little mouse awfully quickly at his size. And it might be a good idea in the next couple of weeks to move up to a small rat. Mm-hmm. So the last feeding was, when did we get back? Monday. Monday we got back from our trip down to see my sister, and we went to the pet store. And instead of asking for a mouse, I asked for a small rat. Mm-hmm. Now, the first thing that probably should have alerted me that there was a problem was when we go to the front counter of this pet store, and we asked for a mouse or a rat. This time I asked for a rat. The little enclosure that
houses the rats.
The little cardboard box is about that big that the mouse comes in.
Little guy.
And so I asked for the small rat, and then I'm walking around the pet store with Michael. When I turn back to the counter, I see that they've got a much larger cardboard enclosure for this small rat.
A larger species.
But I don't see the rat. The rat's already included in the enclosure. And on Monday, we take the rat back home. And we're a little excited because it's a different experience. When I look in, the rat doesn't appear to be all that small. It appears to be a rat that is probably with tail, maybe about that long.
Oh, Mike,
And
I know
about-
rats very well.
Yeah, I know. It's about that wide around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Here's the bottom line. I don't think I gave it a tremendous amount of thought, perhaps the amount of thought that was required. I do my best. I'm a new snake owner. Yeah. I don't. So I'm like, I've watched a lot of National Geographic specials where, these snakes eat something that's bigger than they are, and I didn't really think about it. So I put the small rat into the enclosure, and he goes into the back. The difference between a mouse and a rat that I notice in the enclosure. Oh, by the way, if you're sensitive to stuff like this, please don't listen.
Yeah, just go ahead and fast forward.
Please, it's because this is going to be nasty. What I notice is rats, mice will flit around and twitch around in the enclosure and get noticed very easily by the snake, and then pow, the snake will eat the mouse. Rats go to like one corner and then freeze. They're sneakier. Rats are a very sneaky creature, and they go. So I get a little, I use a little shoehorn to sort of nudge the rat back and forth, back and forth. At a certain point, the rat gets to a point where he is nose to nose with the snake. And I see this almost imperceptible movement of Jake towards the front of this rat, but then he strikes. Yeah. And when they strike, the ball python wraps around the
it's curtains.
the mouse or it's curtains.
Yes.
But it's a much bigger animal, and this time there's a little bit more of a struggle. If this is making you squeamish, I'm sorry. It's the circle of life. It's how you're supposed to handle a snake. That's what you do. What you were going to say something?
I think there's probably a piece of the audience that's like, this is life. And
this is life.
And then there's other people in the audience like, doesn't have to be though.
It doesn't. No, it probably could be. Yes. You could probably train them to eat a frozen rodent. I think it's more efficient to do it this way.
This is why you wanted to get a snake. Yes, because you're broken.
All right, I'll own it. I watched this procedure.
Yes.
So we get the large rat. He's wrapped around it. A little bit of a struggle ensues, including a little kick by the rat that rolled both of them over on their back. And then the constriction happens very quickly.
Everybody knows
and
that.
It's curtains for the rat. And then the real part of our curiosity was, how is he going to do with this larger rodent? And I see him, and that's when it's stunning to see how snakes do this, where they release their jaw and they can expand their head and they can take this whole
no gag
rodent into the body. Right. So this is on Monday, and by Monday, what are you doing?
I wanted to.
What you want to hear?
Yeah.
All right. So by Monday evening, it took him a little longer, but by Monday evening, he has the rat in his tummy. Pretty quickly, right, Michael?
Yeah.
All right. Now you have to leave now because I'm telling the rest of the story. It's my show. This is how I make my living. How I'm going to pay for your college education. Thank you. Go play your Switch. Daddy Day Sunday. Michael, please. Michael, no PC if you don't do that. This is there he goes.
Oh, he did the sad stomp. I love it.
All right. So anyway, so I'm getting to the import. He ingests the rat, and you can see that there's the outline
like
of the rat.
Like in the movies.
In the snake,
yes.
Yeah, like Anaconda. Hello, baby bird. Hello, baby bird. He's a mini version of an anaconda.
Yeah,
that's what he is. And he's in there, and I'm like, that is just the way I perceived it. I was like, what? I'm rooting for him, and I'm saying, what a guy. What an amazing guy. Look what he did. Look what he was able to pull off. That was fantastic. And that's it. To bed, what a day. Fantastic. We have a good little Tuesday, where I'm taking my son out to get ready for his little golf tournament coming up, and we're hanging out. We have lunch together. We're going to do the same thing today. He's on spring break. It's finish this show and hang out with my son. I'm having a fantastic time with him. Okay. Now here comes the fun part. Mrs. O'Mara, probably at about evening, 5-6 o'clock last evening, says, you have to go check on that snake. I said, what? She says, there is a smell that is not only coming from his enclosure, but it's in Michael's room, and it is seeped into the hallway. So I said, yeah, I'll take care of it. I walk down, and this smell is one of the most horrifying smells I've ever smelled. Hits me in the hallway. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? And it smells like, the best way to describe it would be like dog pee or something like that. And I go in, and Jake is just acting weird. He's still got the big bulge. And I said, okay, let me see. And there's this giant, this is the gross part. If you're eating your Wheaties right, you know what? Hold on. I will delay this again. Sorry, news takes a backdrop. I got to pace the show out. I will take phase 2 of this story after we come back. There's a giant wet spot on his paper towels in his enclosure. There you are. If you are not a person who has a strong stomach, you might want to skip this next segment of the Mike O'Mara Show because it's real. I have to tell you that. It's real. It's my life. And we will do that when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show. I'm not managing my time efficiently. We'll be right back.
Hey kids, where do you want to go for dinner?
Amato! Now Jim Amato is going to sell a veggie burger.
Amato burgers.
I love beef, but I'll take this.
You'll not believe the incredible Mike O'Mara burger.
This Amato veggie burger is fantastic.
Oh God, these are good.
Welcome to Amato's, Pittsburgh's favorite burger.
It says 100% guaranteed, you moron.
At Amato's, we pack our burgers with top quality cuts of beef and prepare everything with tender love and care.
Did they teach you that here, Brad?
If you're hungry for laughs, why not try the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show? Supersize the fun with a yearly subscription at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Yeah, don't just stare at it, eat it.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. The conflict in Ukraine has caused mortgage rates to suddenly drop. This means mortgage applications have surged recently as people prepare for higher mortgage rates. And with this latest dip, you could save hundreds per month. And if you wanted to use the equity in your home for any reason or simply to remove your monthly mortgage insurance, the time to act is now. You need to call the best, my friend Mark Livingstone and his team at Cornerstone First Financial. Whether a purchase or refi, the low-rate window is closing fast and things are unpredictable. Before you know it, the rates will be higher and you will have lost this awesome opportunity. Why not call and see what they can do for you? With their no-obligation rate quote, you may be surprised how much you can save. Whether a purchase or refinance, call Cornerstone First Financial, the #1 choice of the Mike O'Mara Show listener, and now licensed in 41 states. So even if you tried them before, try them again. 202-625-1221. That's 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com. All right, we have been alerted by Mrs. O'Mara that there's a problem. I make my way down the hallway. I smell what obviously is not a smell that a dog would produce. This is obviously coming from the little cage, his enclosure that he's in. And I see that, and one of the last things Carl said, and there's a wet spot on the paper towel.
What does the paper towel have to do with the cage?
I put down, as soon as he got mites, another one of his problems, I got rid of the bedding, the wood shavings and stuff, and looked that up online and said you could provide him with a paper towel base for his enclosure, and that's what I do, and I change it frequently. It just keeps him cleaner, fresh, and free of any problems. And I look and I see this. And I mean, it's a horrible smell. It's the smell of like kind of an ammonia smell.
Yeah,
it's not.
I'm familiar.
Cool. My first feeling, and there's a little snake poo in there, and I said, okay, time to do a deep clean on the enclosure. And I do that, and I get all the paper towels cleaned up. I do a little spray in the enclosure. I swab it down, and meanwhile, Jake's like, on the bed. He's on the top of the bed. That's where he's hanging out, and he's docile, and he's digesting this big rat. So one of the things I notice as I'm cleaning his enclosure is Jake's kind of going,
oh, like
he's opening his mouth,
yes.
right? And so I clean it thoroughly. I put it back, and then I notice he's still doing that with his mouth, and it looks like he's got some fluid coming out of his mouth. He doesn't look right. He doesn't look right at all, like in a million. So at this point, Michael is like going, he's going to die, Daddy.
I would be the same.
Die.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm like, I don't know, Michael. I don't know about snakes. Maybe he's going to die. I'm not sure. It's an S
This will be
show.
a good lesson.
It is an S show.
The crying kid. When you've done the damage.
Ammonia stink house that hasn't been dealt with yet. It's the worst. It's the worst. And I'm filled with feelings of, why did I bring this on myself?
Yeah.
What was the point? Where do you go? Well, here's what we have nowadays, folks. We have the internet. We have the world according to the internet. I immediately go to snake eating something too large. And I said, is he going to die? I don't think he's going to die. He's going to. Michael, he ingested this thing.
Do you read it together, or are you reading and just?
I'm reading and kind of sharing it with him. But here's the weird thing. This happens in real time. I have gotten him out. I've cleaned his enclosure. I've put him back. He's doing and little stuff. And that's the stinky stuff that's dripping out of his mouth. I read this thing that says, if a snake eats something too big, here
we go.
Two things can happen. One of them very bad. One of them, also very bad, but not as bad. They can die if they eat something too big. I didn't know that, but I've seen
that's not something that's ever happened to you.
Well, it never happened to me, but I think I saw an anaconda try to eat an alligator. What do you mean? If I eat something too big, I can die? Are you making did you go all the way around this to make a fat joke? Jesus Christ, Oscar!
We, as humans, never look at like a big pie or a big cake, and we're like, oh, we can't take that down.
No, this would be the equivalent of me looking at Andy Reid of the Kansas City Chiefs and saying, I can eat him.
You supersize his meal without even him asking.
We're talking about this ratio of the size of
correct.
Snakes are incredible with their ability to do that. And then the other thing that can happen is that if it's too big and the snake is healthy, this is literally the sentence. If they're too big, if the meal that they've had is too big, the rodent that they ate, and the snake is healthy, the snake can vomit up the too big thing. And Oscar, as God is my witness, I get done reading this. Michael is in his bedroom and goes off and runs around, and I'm trying to find more information on the internet. And then from the back room, I hear this. You don't make this crap up. You don't make this stuff up. I hear from Michael's room. He did it. He did it. I said, what?
He did what?
He spit up the rat.
Oh, no.
And I hear this. Michael discovers it. I don't know how it happened as fast as it did, but it did. I think it's like the snake just slides itself out of off this behemoth.
Stricks it out.
And then I go
What's left?
What's left is if you've ever looked at any of the movies, where the horror movies where it's just the wet nastiness of the rat appears to be. I didn't look at it that closely because I am so foully grossed out. And if you thought there was a stink before when he was just doing his little thing, it is the nastiest, grossest thing I've ever seen. And I know for a fact that there's one person that's going to have to deal with this, and that is me, because that rat's not going anywhere, and that rat has to be disposed of. And it is, I'm not gagging because I'm not gagging. I wrap my arm with a series of paper towels. It looks like I've got a plaster cast on my arm, and then I take a handful of paper towels. And then I get a scented trash bag, and I remove the rat, put it in the trash. I double bag the, that comes later. I double bag this, and then I remove everything else from the enclosure. And at this particular point, I have read enough about snakes where you can't put in like a detergent or anything. That's going to harm the reptile.
Yes.
That's going to harm the reptile.
How's Jake holding up during all this?
Jake seems to be tremendously relieved that he has freed himself from the burden of the giant slimy-ass rat that is now in the bottom of a trash bag. But I am telling you that the smell of like death is permeating. It is so nasty that it's almost making my eyes water. It's that horrible. Meanwhile, in the bedroom at the far side of the house, I've got this from Mrs. O'Meara. I am so mad right now. Why did you want to? She's turning it into no longer a child's gift. The snake is mine.
You have on this show.
I'm the caretaker.
But I'm
the caretaker of the snake.
You did say that you've always wanted when you were a child, and it was it was a present for Michael. It was a present.
Look,
for
I
you.
was fascinated.
Yes.
I'm still fascinated.
Yes.
All right, but I'm also at this particular time knowing I'm getting yelled at while I'm the only person that is doing. My son has given me a little help by holding trash bags and going, "Oh my God, Dad!" And I'm like, "Okay, it's horrifying.
Yeah, at least it's
horrifying.
Helping. That's nice."
And then I go. We've got spray bottles all over this house. We have spray bottles for dogs, spray bottles for snakes, spray bottles for everything. Misters, spray bottles, everything. I realize that water is not going to cut it with this. I have to go to the recommended cleaning solution for these enclosures, which is vinegar and water. Much like a douche. But anyway, it's like
Jack can cook.
That he cleaned his cars with vinegar and water and newspapers. Super cleaning, natural cleaning thing for the enclosure. Cleaning thing. Way to go. I'm still upset
Solution.
by this. So I mix the vinegar into the water, and then I begin to, by this time, all of the paper towels that have been used for the extraction of slime rat are out. It's a sad thing because it's not the circle of life. It's a wasted life. It's a wasted life. As I'm thinking, that did enter my mind, okay? Animal activists, it did. I'm sorry, this is the animal I have.
At least
this
Jake
is how you
didn't
feed
pass,
it. He didn't die, and that would have ripped my son into... Michael, is Jake doing okay today? Yeah, he's doing fine.
Thumbs up.
So that's good. So it's off to the cleaning, and I do a thorough cleaning of the enclosure with vinegar and water. Which, by the way, works wonders. Although I do a deep clean on myself, not only the shower this morning, but last night, arms, hands, everything. I am just checking my clothes to see if it's laying. Everything seems fine. Everything's okay. And today, first thing I check in with Mrs. O'Meara, who has gone into Michael's room first. Michael slept in the guest room because of the smell coming out of his enclosure. I fixed it. It's all done. The snake is free. The next meal he gets will be a mouse.
Like you gave away the snake? Or
no, he's in his enclosure, and he seems happy. Seems relieved.
Okay.
It was a tremendous... He could have died because I'm an idiot, and I don't read enough about the size. And I thought a small rat was the next step up from a mouse. No, they've got all these reptile people have all these different sizes of rat and stuff. The mouse is fine. A full-grown mouse is perfect for him right now. That's what he's going to have. That's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I have a question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
When Shannon is upset with me, she doesn't vocalize, "I'm so mad," right?
Right.
She just vocalizes.
Mrs. O'Meara is not burdened with that. Mrs. O'Meara is fine. I have to go. By the way, after I've dealt with this S-storm, after I've taken a waist-deep wade into the land of carcass stink ammonia, and I've done this all night long with my evening where I wanted to just relax and watch that crappy Sopranos movie, I go in and I have to go on the apology tour all over again. I have to go in and share with Mrs. O'Mara how sorry I am that I upset. Like somehow I ate the rat and I didn't eat the rat and spit it up. I thought I was doing the right thing to take care of this animal, this reptile that I've got here. And
it's your compulsion. Like it's got to be bigger and better. Like every time.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, there you. It's not a compulsion.
This little mouse. Right. That action's just old for me. Like, where are the high dollar slots? Get me a rat.
The snake is. I want the snake to get bigger, meaner, better. Not meaner, but I want to look. The ultimate goal. Would you like to? Yeah. Okay, you've tapped into something. The ultimate goal.
I know what you want.
Heading over to Miramar Outlets one day with it around my neck.
Yes.
With everybody going, "Oh my God, look at that!" No, I don't think I could do that if I wanted to. People would probably be very, very upset. But it's done. I believe that we've solved this is the second major health issue with this reptile, and we're moving forward. And I think it's teaching my son about the circle of life.
It's the fastidious nature of cleaning and taking care of an animal, right?
Yeah.
It's about moderation. I think we've learned that.
Saying it's a learning experience for me. Is that it? Moderation. You don't need the whole half gallon. Thank you.
The whole tray.
The whole tray. So that's it. It's done. That's it. We're done with this. And
Father of the Year.
Yeah. Another day with him today. We'll see what kind of trouble we can get into. Yeah, he's a great kid. God, I love him. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the homepage right here for your listening pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. And if you get a snake, read the instruction manual. We'll be right back.
Hey humans, it's me, Winslow, Mike's Boston Terrier. Do you know I'm smart? In fact, I'm wicked smart. I even watch TV. I like movies like The Departed. My theory on feds is that they're like mushrooms. Feed them and keep them in the dark. Woof. Sometimes I eat too. That's relatable. Good Will Hunting is another one that I like. Do you like apples? Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples? That's funny. Ted is funny too. You, Thunder, you can suck my... You can't get me, Thunder, because you're just God's fat. That scene made me howl, literally. But the bonus show's even funnier. Buy the TMOS bonus show at MikeOMaryShow.com. If you buy a lot of them, I get a greenie and a Blu-ray player. See ya. Gotta visit the fire hydrant. Johnny on the spot.
Thank you, Winslow. Appreciate that. Hey, the first thing you need to know is that Catalina Crunch's cereal is delicious. The dark chocolate, the cinnamon toast, both great. Amazing, really, because it's zero sugar,
I would like
keto friendly, and low carb. Most zero sugar food doesn't taste delicious. I don't know how they do it, but Catalina Crunch really nailed this. It packs a whopping 11 grams of plant-based protein and 9 grams of fiber per serving. Taste for yourself why over 10,000 customers rate, Catalina Crunch as the 5-star cereal that they love. They've got 8 delicious flavors to choose from, and you're going to love them all. Gluten-free, grain-free, non-GMO, only real clean ingredients, nothing artificial. You're going to love Catalina Crunch. See why Catalina Crunch cereal is the fastest growing cereal brand in America. Just go to CatalinaCrunch.com/TMOS for 15% off your first order plus free shipping. That's CatalinaCrunch.com/TMOS. Not sure which flavor to start with? Try a variety pack and check out their delicious cookies and snack mixes while you're at it. That's CatalinaCrunch.com/TMOS for 15% off your first order plus free shipping. We all love Catalina Crunch. Now play your thingy. Thank you.
From the four corners of the World Wide
Cinnamon's
Web
my favorite.
and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
This is the homepage,
Yes.
and we start things off with Raven Simone. You know Raven
absolutely.
Simone,
That's
right?
so Raven.
Her co-stars and executive producers of Raven's Home participated in a walkout yesterday in protest of Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. Big deal down here in the state of Florida.
Could you give a footnote on... I don't think most people... it's look, with the war, it's not at the forefront, at least.
It involves classrooms and teaching anything that involves LGBTQ information for kids in schools. They're saying it's going to be used to discriminate against this community and it's draconian. It's a little looking backwards when we're trying to move forward as a society. Raven posted a video and said, quote, "We are walking out today in support of this ridiculous bill. We don't like it. We're walking out. It's stupid. We love everyone. Support, support, support." Raven's caption and quote, "Every family, every person, every child deserves to be recognized no matter their race, gender, or sexual orientation. Education that reflects the truth and the world we live in is something we must fight for." It's a delicate situation here in the state of Florida when they can kind of tie, I think they attempt to tie open-mindedness and acceptance of people into a darker theme when it comes to sexuality, where it's very complicated, and they're very skillful in the way they have presented this legislation, and but their ultimate goal, it's discriminatory, and I agree with them. And some people are upset about this, and it gets back to the sexualization of younger people and children, and that's kind of how they sell it. But I know what they're doing in a larger scale is kind of shutting down literature, information about inclusiveness. I think I have to go along with that, and it's frustrating.
I'm not. I've been in trouble in the past from our friends here, because I'm not a parent, and even with my family members. But I really feel like if you hide this, or don't educate yourselves on it, or try to just put this into the back of like, no one talk about this.
Yeah,
it's like Mike said. It's just no good comes from that.
No, and it's
and by
really
the way, there's
not the
nothing to
direction
hide.
we should be heading. There's you got to. It's all about inclusion, and
Yes.
And that's the way I look at it. So she's making a stand, and
Good for
it's
her.
frustrating when you talk about these social issues in America and a certain group of people that are trying to, I think, make us go backwards.
Yes.
Not cool. The Academy Awards. The Academy stopped giving out those Oscar goodie bags back in 2006 because the expensive gifts put an extra tax burden on the recipients. Oh, poor things. But a company called Distinctive Assets, which has nothing to do with the Oscars, kind of took over by giving out Everyone Wins gift bags to 25 of the top acting and directing nominees. When you hear that it's just the top 25, it's got to be good. This year's bag is worth six figures, whatever that means. And here are some of the gifts it contains. Plots of land in Scotland from a company called Highland Titles, which make recipients actual lords and ladies of Glencoe. That is too funny. Number 2, an all-inclusive stay at Turin Castle in Scotland. So I guess it's got a whole theme to promote Scotland. I guess that's
Is it
what they're doing
overseas,
for.
so you're not liable for the tax?
Of
situation?
course, they didn't share that with me, so I don't know. Let's see. Gold flaked olive oil from Ariti. I don't even know what that is.
Sounds
what's
expensive.
that? It is probably. Facial rejuvenation procedures from dermglowskin.com.
Oh, wow.
And Carlo Omer.
What a wonderful placement.
Facial rejuvenation procedures from Dr. Konstantin Vasyukovich. I'd go to Dermglowskin.
Yeah, that's a little suspect.
That's what I would do. And Art Lipo body enhancements. So you can get some fat sucked off your body. Here's to the nominees.
I keep on harping on this, but what's the tax benefit? Is it because it's a medical procedure? You don't have to pay tax on it?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
This is a company that does it separately.
If I'm a celebrity, you better give me something good.
If you receive anything, even if it's for overseas and you live in this country, you have to pay taxes on it, right?
Are you a tchotchke snob?
As far as like getting gifts from people, I've never gotten tchotchkes, so I really, but I love swag. I love free stuff.
Same deal. Like, is the free
I love it when we get a big bag of Catalina Crunch. That makes me happy. Seriously, I'm all in. I love it when listeners send stuff.
Yes.
By the way, let me rephrase
Please.
that. I love when listeners send stuff. Really cool stuff, like Pro V1X golf ball. Thank you very much. But I'm not declaring them. I will not declare them. But it's not that kind of money, so you don't have to worry about that.
$100, right, per box?
Let's move on. Hollywood continues to leave no existing intellectual property unmolested. CBS is turning to The Love Boat. The Love Boat soon will be. They're turning it into a reality dating show.
Smart.
Which I think is all right.
Smart.
I'd watch it. Isn't it a combination of maybe The Bachelor meets Below Decks? That show about
I think
cruising?
It's The Bachelor meets Below Deck meets Captain Stabbin'.
Very Stabbin' Cabin. It's called The Real Love Boat. And it'll put a group of singles looking for love on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean. I'm all in on this. I think this works. There will be destination dates and challenges to test new couples' compatibility and chemistry. And in the end, one winning couple will win a cash prize, plus a once-in-a-lifetime trip. That's it. Look at, we give you $50 and we give you a bag of Catalina Crunch.
Which cast members from The Love Boat have you met or interviewed? Do you remember?
Oh, that's hard. I want to say Lauren Tweez, or Don had a connection with her at some, but I don't remember.
When we were
Rob, this is where you want to know the moment we miss Rob right now. Rob would be able to tell you probably the answer to that. He'd rattle off
like Isaac and Gopher and all.
Because of that level of pop culture and being a morning DJ and an afternoon DJ, probably a couple of them. I don't remember. I remember with MASH, the McLean Stevenson, who was Colonel. Which one was he? Not not Colonel Potter. I forgot already.
They should make MASH into a reality show and rebuild that, and then people can play doctoring each other.
Maybe not appropriate in wartime like we are right now. Even
I retract that joke. I'll save it for later.
I think I probably interviewed a couple of them. So they get a cash prize, a trip. In order to make it at least sort of resemble the old TV series, there'll be crew members like the captain. I love this idea. I don't know what. I like The Love Boat. I enjoyed The Love.
As a kid, I would watch it when I had sick days. I never understood where was the love?
They're going to have a captain and a cruise director who will play pivotal roles in the matchmaking. I think this works. Yeah. And I hope they're beautiful people, Oscar.
Oh, they're not going to put
really beautiful
uggos
people
on TV. Okay. That's not what they do.
No uggos. No fatties, no uggos on that show. So, looking forward to that. I think The Love Boat, that works for me. You know what's more soul-crushing than cleaning your house? Cleaning your house so badly that it's in worse shape than when you started. Here are 4 things you do when you clean that actually can make your home even dirtier. I'll start with number 4.
Please.
Overloading your dishwasher. You don't have a dishwasher, do you?
I don't know why you have to rub it in. No, I don't.
Okay. When you put too many dishes in the dishwasher, it can't clean them properly. So your dishes won't get as clean as you'd like. Hello, Thanksgiving. Number 3, cleaning with a used sponge or rag.
I think everybody does this.
When you use your dish sponge or a used rag to wipe down surfaces, you're just spreading germs onto those surfaces. So beware of that. Number 2, dusting at the end. What does that mean? When your last step of cleaning a room is dusting, you just spread that dust around. I've never understood dusting either. When you take like a feather duster,
you have to
you're
dust
just moving
first. Dust all that.
I don't think dusting is a thing. I think you ought to vacuum it with a brush or something. Suck the little flecks of skin into a machine.
But if you have a hardwood table, you're going to scratch it up.
Oh, all right. Well, it says don't do it at the end.
You've never been gentle, Mike.
The best move is to clean a room from top to bottom, ending with the floors, so dusting is somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
That's true, because then you suck up all the stuff.
I've made all these mistakes. As a younger man, I was on dusting and furniture duty, so we'd have oh, God, you think you had a bad childhood? Every day, I had to dust the entire house, and I had to pledge all the furniture.
Every day?
Every day.
Oh, no wonder you're broken. Number 1 is going crazy with cleaning products. If you use too much of your cleaning products, you won't make your floors or counters or a table cleaner. You'll leave a residue that can trap extra dirt and dust. So be aware of that. And we leave you with 2 stories from Florida, ladies and gentlemen. A contractor in Florida was doing work at a military museum this week and got caught trying to steal a ballistic vest worn by a Navy SEAL during the Osama bin Laden raid. It happened at the Navy SEAL Museum in Fort Pierce on Monday. Why do people have to be such scumbags? His name is Kendall Rust. And he's 30 years old. A museum employee noticed him acting weird. Then after he left, they realized the vest was missing. Jesus Christ, idiot. Another employee confronted him, and he admitted he took it. He claimed that he just wanted to take a picture with the vest, which they found crammed inside his toolbox. A member of SEAL Team 6 was wearing the vest when they raided bin Laden's compound in 2011 and took him out. Because of that, the museum says it's worth about $50,000. This man's facing charges of felony larceny.
Yes.
Just duh, right?
And it's like people don't realize we have cameras everywhere. Cameras everywhere.
Yeah, same kind of mindset that would steal the vest is, I wouldn't think about stuff like that. And now a little something. There's a 54-year-old guy in northern Michigan. His name is Victor McMillan. I thought this was another Florida story. It's not. He got pulled over on the highway last week, and his 30-year-old son, Joshua, was with him. It happened about 60 miles east of Traversity. Remember that city that we had? One of our places.
Yes.
While the cop was talking to them, he noticed a large McDonald's cup in their car that was filled with soda, and something weird was floating on top of it, but it wasn't ice. Or if you know drug slang, it was ice. Crystal meth. That's the kind of ice we're talking about. They apparently panicked when they got pulled over and dumped their bag of meth in the soda, but they either didn't realize it would float or thought it would dissolve. The cop found the empty bag on the floor in their car, and the stuff in their soda tested positive for methamphetamine. They both got arrested, and they're due back in court tomorrow. The moral of this story, put the meth in the French fries. Hide the meth. Hide the meth in the fries.
Yeah, rock salt. So this is the sea salt fries from McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh, we just got extra rock salt in there, officer. Yes, right. Or officer. I got scabs. Anyway, we got to take a break. We'll come back with something. I know we will. You're listening to the Mike O'Mara Show. Whoa, whoa. Don't get a snake.
Hi, folks. It's aging television heartthrob Tom Selleck. Back in the 80s, I played a Hawaiian detective on Magnum P.I. Look, this isn't my first rodeo, and let me tell you something. I wouldn't be here today if I thought the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show took advantage of any American podcast listener. Or worse, that it was some kind of way to take your home. Now, who the hell am I kidding? I'd sell my own grandmother for a hot lunch. No, a Mike O'Mara Bonus Show subscription isn't some kind of trick to take away your home. In fact, it's quite affordable. I mean, I can't afford that kind of thing anymore, but surely you can. After all, this is how Mike, Rob, and Oscar try to feed their families. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and start your subscription today, won't you? Look, I'm proud to be part of the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show family. I trust them, and I think you can too. You know, the thing people always ask me is if I banged Courtney Cox when I was on Friends. Yes, I did, and I think you could too.
Thank you very much, Tom. We appreciate that. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Freshly. You love Freshly, Oscar. You've been loving it for years and years. It doesn't have to be fast food when it's fast, ladies and gentlemen. Freshly offers quality meals without the hard work. Their meals are designed by nutritionists, cooked by chefs, then delivered fresh to Oscar's door. Other meal deliveries need to be prepped and cooked, but Freshly, ready to eat in 3 minutes. No one wants to spend an hour cooking dinner after you've spent an entire day at Podville working with infuriating people. Infuriating.
They're not infuriating, but there is a level of, and I love telling people about Freshly because I have friends that are still working from home, and with their kids, they're like, hey, we usually have to make a meal for the kids and ourselves. They end up eating like terrible food, like a peanut butter and jelly, because they don't want to make anything different.
Right.
They've subscribed to Freshly, so now they have a Freshly meal. Boom. Ready to go.
They arrive cooked and fresh every week. Use the Freshly website or the app to find meals that fit your lifestyle with plans that work for your dietary needs, preferences, tastes, and family size. And it's great. You're going to enjoy it. Stop stressing about dinner. Right now, Freshly is offering our listeners $40 off your first 2 orders when you go to freshly.com/TMOS. That's $40 off. Freshly.com/TMOS. Tomorrow on the show, I want to do a dive into the marital bliss of one Oscar Santana.
Me?
So, yeah, that's you. We'll get into that tomorrow. It's going to be a long segment because I want to psychoanalyze you like you psychoanalyze me. It's what we really do to each other. What I wanted to mention briefly here, you and I both are 60 Minutes guys, so we watched the piece this past Sunday about home ownership. And I'm here to say it's delightful that they have now what appears to be taken away the American dream from a massive amount of people in this country with these major funds, hedge funds, and corporations and Wall Street buying up homes and charging really exorbitant rents for people and taking away and driving the housing market up at the same time. Down here, there's a standard line that's used down here about people selling their homes in what is a real estate boom time. And the line is this: well, where would you go? Because the home prices have exploded. I think the number I heard, 120 to 160%. So I'm 62. I've lived in a lot of different homes, and I've been a homeowner for a long time. This ain't about me. This is about people coming into the workforce. This is about people that are jumping in, and I get an amazing artificial vibe off these home prices that have gone up 100% in less than a year. It's stunning to me.
And it's actually the scale of the pricing in your neck of the woods is higher than most because everybody's fleeing to Florida and Texas.
Sunbelt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the way it's going.
And as I watch this report, and just to give you a little more clarity, it's not just about you selling your home where you're going to go. It's if you can actually afford your first time home, if it's something that's viable, and if the American dream is to own property and own a home, which I think is, frankly, Mike, outside of this report was already changing because people were realizing that they didn't have to have this 30-year mortgage in order to feel like they have made it in life.
Well, explain that to me because I'm confused about, maybe because I'm more old school when I think about it. How would they measure, or how would it be an opportunity for them to build? Would it be investing?
There's an increasing line of thought that said, crypto, way too risky.
Okay.
But if you took the average return on the S&P 500 and it compounds year over year over year over year, the money we put into homes,
I get it.
Especially if they're larger homes.
But I'm here to tell you, most people can't do that. I think this is another example of the mauling of America. I think this is another example of huge, deep-pocketed corporate entities entering into something where, look, the bottom line is with home ownership is that the idea was you buy a house, you build up some equity in that house, and make a little profit on that house, and then maybe you can move up. Or you can use the windfall to invest and stuff. You're talking about people that are young couples that are coming out, and they just want a starter home.
Yes.
Well, the starter homes are being snatched up. Starter homes are being snatched up by these companies that have stockholders that reap the benefits of these insane profits that are being made on the backs of the working people. But it sucks.
Don't you hear these stories and watch this is a particular report, and I sit there, and there's a little more context, and they didn't even mention this. So Zillow just wrote down, I think, $200 million, maybe $500 million. But I wrote down they lost because they had Zillow, the company had a strategy to buy homes and hold on as the company that's also selling you the home to buy a ton of homes in different areas because they thought they had a programmatic advantage that said, if this is an upcoming neighborhood, if we buy all the homes there, they're going to be worth more in the long run, and we can diversify our assets.
And they got whacked.
They got burned.
Okay. All right.
So I watched the story, and not to give both sides, but everything seems like it's too big to fail.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, the market now is down. Clearly, there's so much turmoil with interest rates and the war. But this housing, this housing, I don't want to call it a housing bubble because there are certain places, I think, in America which you will be insulated. But I don't know if this is tenable. But I also am not an expert here. I just feel like there's
it seems after watching 60 Minutes where these companies buy these homes and rent them. This was the model. It was not selling them. It was the rental.
Correct.
And the only way that they're maximizing their profits are by massive rents. You can make the case that, well, the people that are going to rent them are the people that can afford them. Yeah, but I feel screwed for these people.
Yeah.
I feel like we're watching something that is not quite right. I feel like the idea of building the economy with everybody kind of pushing up and getting a little piece of the pie is more elusive. And when you talk about charging these rents, which are, here's the formula for your house, right? Your cost of your land, your cost of your contractors to build your home, and then that's kind of it, right?
Yes.
And when you're talking about, that the people that are building the house or the people that are owning the land are not getting the major profit. People that are building the house, doing the work to put up the studs and the drywall are not getting that. And then the people that eventually buy the home are not getting the benefit of it because they're being bought by people that can afford a little bit more and then charge more rent than the house is worth. I'm just sensing that's just not going to help people. We're going to have more and more people that are doing less, that are doing worse in that kind of an economy. I didn't like that guy that ran that fund.
He was smarmy.
He was snarky, smarmy.
And he came on national television in a leather jacket.
Yeah, exactly. And he had all the answers,
Fonzie?
didn't he? The dick.
You got to come on with like a wool sweater.
Right.
And you have to look like you care.
Exactly.
Not like you literally just robbed a bank.
Yeah, and he had all the answers like our shareholders think we're doing, F you. I remember my first home, all right? My first home was on the eastern shore of Maryland. I wasn't making any money, but I had enough I had enough of a job to qualify for a mortgage.
How old were you when you purchased your first home?
In my mid to late 20s.
See?
And
31 with the help of my father.
I had the help of my parents when I got into mine. I was not that much younger than you. I remember almost trembling when I signed that document for $54,000 to buy the house. Now, I don't know when the year was that I sold that house, but I sold that house for $96,000 after living in it for a relatively short amount of time. That was a wonderful, by the way, I never did that well on another house. Until I moved into this one. The problem was if I sold this house...
Didn't the wives keep the houses you bought after that?
Technically? No, not the first one. Second one?
Yes.
No.
Fire sale. Fire sale.
No, not the second one either. Because then I was in I don't know. I know I moved to a condo at one point in Eastport, Maryland. Thank you for that. Yeah. I was very, very sad. Very, very sad time of my life. I tried. I just I didn't.
You love
didn't
hard.
know. I love the struggle. You have your struggles.
No, but you love hard.
Why did we?
Love.
Why did this become talking about my wives?
Sorry.
So my point being that I think this is a very productive for everybody way that's being taken away from us.
Yeah, because you could have a windfall that is. The real tax benefit is if you roll it into a new home, the gains from your first home, your starter home, then that helps. I mean, it's a little bump to get you to another spot in life.
Don't you feel that when you have a home that, I'm just using Florida as an example, when you have a house that is now valued like within 2 years, 120% more than it was when you paid for it, don't you think that's a little odd? Like it was 10%, 50%, 20, maybe even 30%. That's great. This something's going on here. Something's hinky.
In Florida.
Yes.
And I never look, the people that moved to Florida before in the before times, before the pandemic,
right?
They didn't realize, like yourself, they were sitting on a lottery ticket.
Well, we're talking seriously about Kentucky. That's it. That's what the O'Maras are talking about. Maybe moving to Kentucky someday.
Nashville.
Nashville might be cool. Pretty expensive there, too. But I don't know. But, man, how do you look at 126% profit? I don't like all that much. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with the Soundtown. That's right. Mike O'Mara's Soundtown. Yes, Rob, I've renamed it. Mike O'Mara's Soundtown coming up on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hello, parishioners. It's me, Uncle Baby Billy Freeman. I want to thank all of you that have supported me by purchasing my Baby Billy's Health Elixir. Blessings to all of you. But I've recently discovered something that's even more potent, and it's my God-given duty to tell you about it. It's the Michael Mara Show on TikTok. Beautiful, funny, spiritually uplifting, bite-sized clips of your favorite podcast. Perfect for yourself and for sharing with the congregation of your life. It's based on ancient scriptures and heals colds, flus, straps, even COVIDs. Just search TikTok for Michael Mara Show and follow us. Heal the spirit to heal the body. Michael Mara Show on TikTok. It's your salvation. Or my name isn't Walton Goggins. Baby Billy Freeman. Amen.
Oh, hi there. Hi, it's Mike O'Mara. I'm finishing up my second Liquid IV of the day. This is the strawberry flavor. I do love it.
I have my first here, Mike.
Oh, it's fantastic. Are you drinking the strawberry again? I believe it's the greatest flavor they've ever created. It's really fantastic. No better time than right now to make sure you're feeling like your best self. That's exactly my plan with the help of my favorite hydration product, Liquid IV. Getting hot down here. Liquid IV, 1 stick of it in 16 ounces of water, hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. And I'm talking hot down here. It's going to be another hot one.
Balls hot.
Liquid IV has incredible hydration flavors like watermelon, lemon lime, grape, pina colada, and my beloved strawberry. What makes Liquid IV so effective? Cellular transport technology. It's the optimal ratio of glucose, sodium, and potassium to deliver water and nutrients to the bloodstream super fast. Plus, Liquid IV is out to change the world by donating to hospitals, first responders, veterans, and active military. Liquid IV has donated over 19 million servings globally. Grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code TMOS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com, promo code TMOS.
What a sound.
Did you hear that? Make some noise.
Soundtown.
Oh, man, Soundtown. Today we've got lots of my favorites, which are reactions. I love reaction sound clips. They're fantastic. Now, this is not a great one to start with. This is a scary one. Oscar was talking about it earlier, about some terrible tornadoes right now. I'm not sure what part of the country this takes place in, but it's a tornado and a guy out here telling people, this captures the moment of terror when they're trying to get people to take shelter and run into a Walmart. So listen to this.
Get inside! Get inside! Run! Oh my, run! Everybody go!
That's the real deal. Mm-hmm. That's the real deal. And they were safe when
Texas.
They got into the Walmart in Texas. And it's frightening when you're in the middle of that, but they got it done. And I don't know. I think that hurricanes are terrifying down here in the state of Florida. We live with it. But as far as seeing the funnel cloud and seeing the massive funnel cloud about to descend upon you has got to be one of the most terrifying things in the world.
Mike, the tornado hit the local high school, hit an elementary school. There was a tearful press conference from the sheriff where he was so happy that none of the kids were hurt.
Right.
He walked through the debris with this news crew on the nightly news and talked about opening the safe room door for these type of emergencies that they have, and these little paws grabbing at his ankles because they're all down and hunched down for safety.
Right.
And him tearing up saying like, thank God all these kids were safe.
It's amazing. It really is. I think it's the 50th anniversary of Don McLean, which, you know, when I say, if I sound like an old fart by saying they just don't make them the same way anymore, American Pie, just the amazing music. Here's a little montage of Don McLean for all of you fans out there. I am a fan. I think one of the best folk singers ever in the history of folk singing. So let's pay tribute to the 50th anniversary of this amazing artist.
Starry, starry night. Paint your palette blue and gray. Wonderful baby, living on love. The Sandman says maybe he'll take you above. I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die.
John McClane, we love you. And that's one that there are not many that they play on, classic rock stations that I don't roll my eyes to. When I hear Ozzy Osbourne, "Mama, I'm Coming Home," I want to vomit, just like Jake did with the rat. But I hear that, I love it. All right, girl is trying to get into Ivy League schools. She's exhausted every one of them. She's gotten rejection letters from Harvard and Yale and all. The last chance she has is University of Pennsylvania. She is
UPenn?
This is her last go to get into college, and she gets the reaction. I love this. Kids trying to make their lives better and almost getting kicked to the curb, but listen to this.
Oh, man. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
One, let's go!
I love that. She gets into the school, last chance, and she's smart anyway because if you're applying to those schools, you know that, Oscar. That's a big deal.
You're not just doing that to waste $500 in the fee.
It gets better. It gets better right now. This is lady is going to see her daughter, speak to her daughter through the intercom system at the local Starbucks, and she is there. This almost gets me choked up to talk about. She's there to announce in a really cute way that the girl who's working at Starbucks, her younger sister, is now cancer-free. And she does so by putting in a normal Starbucks order where her older daughter is working at the drive-thru. Listen to this.
Can I get a grande latte with 1 shot of espresso and 2% milk and 1 pump of car tea and 100% cancer-free, please? Actually? Really? Are you serious? Did you just get the call? You're making me cry at work. Are you serious? Yeah, but she doesn't know yet. You had to record her reaction. She's going to be so excited.
That's great. 13-year-old, by the way, was the kid with cancer that came out cancer-free with that. And F cancer. I think we can all say that. F
cancer.
And finally, I leave you. I love babies. I always think, and when you listen to this at the end, I always think the babies that have that super laughing, giggling reaction are on the verge of kind of a little baby version of a nervous breakdown. Now, this doesn't occur, but it always, you know what I mean? When the babies really do the really crazy laugh, like the
okay, yes, like a Krusty the Clown.
This baby sees her grandma. I guess maybe for the first there's been a long period of time where she hasn't seen grandma, but she reacts to grandma. She loves grandma. This baby digs her grandma. Let's listen to this one right here. There you go. Same way I react to Carla when she comes down. So
now leaving SoundCloud.
That's it. Please come again. Thank you all very much. I hope. Hey, I did it without messing up any of the sounds today. How about that?
You did it.
Yeah, it'd be helpful to have somebody else do that again. Anyway, that's it. We got to get out of here. Listen, if you're going to get a snake, don't feed them rodents that are too large. That's what we learned from today's show. And tomorrow, bit of a dive into, it was a little cryptic what you were talking to me about things on the home front. Everything's all right, though, right?
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. We'll talk about Oscar's Wonderful Life tomorrow. Balance in life, balance in work, balance in carbohydrates. We'll see you tomorrow for Oscar Santana and Robb Spewak. This is Mike O'Mara saying, so long, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Sayonara, sucker.
Go playing golf and you're going to like it. What about my asthma? I'll give you asthma.
Get in the hole.